And Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and a whole bunch of others, they have lost their ever-loving minds. But they are battling for the soul of our party and the soul of our country.
The Republican Party is now officially in a civil war.
And there are a handful of self-appointed, outspoken influencers who are pushing anti-Semitism on the right, who are going on air and attacking Israel every day, attacking Jews every day, attacking President Trump every day. The single most dangerous one of all of them is Tucker Carlson. And Tucker Carlson and Marjorie Taylor Greene and a whole bunch of others, they have lost their ever-loving minds. But they are battling for the soul of our party and the soul of our country. And listen, I will say there has been no constituency in America that has been stronger supporters of Israel than evangelical Christians. Tucker Carlson has said on his show, there is nobody on planet Earth he hates more than Christian Zionists. And he identified in particular me and Mike Huckabee as the two human beings he hates the most. You know what? I bear his scorn with pride. Because I have resolved about a year ago that I am going to do everything I can to fight and defeat this poison, and we will not let it destroy our party or our nation. And I will tell you, there's a concerted effort in particular in the church. I believe the Christian church is asleep. There are a lot of pastors who love Israel and think everything is just fine. And if you're 60 or 70 and 80 and a pastor and you're not online, you're not on social media, you don't see anything happening. I can tell you it is happening in your church. It is happening with teenagers and 20-somethings, and they are being pushed garbage, and it is being paid for, among others, by Qatar and Iran and China, and they know that if they can splinter the church, they will destroy the country. And so I am calling on pastors and leaders to stand up and preach what the word says. Those who bless Israel will be blessed, and those who curse Israel will be cursed.
These are deeply religious people, but they're coming from two different specific ideologies completely here. The actual argument here is, are you for the idea of America first and the idea that American tax dollars should be funding Americans exclusively? Or are you for the idea of cutting everyone off except for one place? Are you for this or are you for that? That's it. That's where we are.
And I'll tell you what, our God doesn't make promises and break them. Our God's promises you can count on forever and ever and ever, and we've got to stand up and speak the truth. I truly believe this is an existential crisis. And here's why. Anti-Semitism is a gateway drug to anti-capitalism and anti-Americanism. Look, we can see it right now in New York, the Green-Red Alliance, where the Marxists and the jihadists in Comrade Mondami, they come together because they hate the same people. And here's the secret. The people they hate is us. The people they hate is America. And I don't want to wake up in 5 years and find ourselves in a country where both major political parties are unambiguously anti-Israel and unashamedly anti-Semitic. We will not allow that to happen, not on our watch. And I want to say something clearly and unequivocally. Sharia law shall never be allowed in the United States of America. Truth matters, and we've got to speak the truth and speak it from joy. Be happy warriors. The left is so angry, so very angry. They stomp their little feet with their little high heels.
Oh, jeez.
And that's just the men.
Hey, valid. Valid.
But we should respond with joy and with love. There's a very odd meme online.
Okay.
It's a picture of me, and it says, "This man ate my son." I saw it. I retweeted it. I said, he was delicious. Joy is a wonderful thing. And let me say, the way we win these battles in Iowa and across the country are the men and women who are in this room. It is citizens and patriots standing up for who we are as Americans. You know, every week I do a podcast. It's called Verdict with Ted Cruz. I do it 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. We have millions of listeners that listen to the podcast. I want to ask everyone here to pull out your cell phone. Pull out your cell phone and text the word verdict, VERDICT, to the number 24005. Let me give you that to you again. 24005. Text the word verdict. What you will get is a link back that will let you subscribe for free to the podcast. And 3 days a week, the podcast will download on your phone and you can listen to it. I do this, and often I do the podcast at 11 o'clock at night or midnight or 1 in the morning after a full day in the Senate. The reason I put in that time is the entire point of the podcast is to equip you, to give you the information, to give you the tools so that when you are knocking on doors, when you are making phone calls, when you are talking to your coworker, your classmate, when you're talking to your crazy Uncle Ernie at Thanksgiving dinner, that you have the tools and information to speak the truth.
Okay, guys, this kind of turned into an ad. Hold on. So what's happening on the right now are things are starting to kind of consolidate. Everyone is already kind of in their corners in terms of the left or right here, but now the right is also now doing kind of the same thing internally here. Now, there's going to be a group specifically on the right currently that are going to follow kind of no matter what Israel, if that makes any sense here. Then there's another group kind of within the right also that are saying America first, period. Why are we giving money to other places? Period. Right? These type of things here. And that's just what it's coming down to here. And how you fall on that is basically how you fall on that. I definitely wish that the right would not specifically fracture, because if you start to fracture, so instead of being one solid force, you now become two. Right? That two is weaker than that one solid force here. The left is pretty much solidified on their absolute crazy. So what ends up happening here? The right, for the most part, gets weaker because the two absolute giants are sitting here fighting each other rather than fighting who's the perceived enemy or opposition of the right. Right? So any ideology, talking point, kind of way of life, etc., starts getting weaker, gets more diluted. You're trying to win the hearts of minds of the same people that absolutely are going to side with you guys, kind of no matter what here. So I'm not sure that's really conducive, but I get it here. There are some people who do not want to give money to other people, right? Specifically, people that are not paying into our taxes, right? That's just kind of the reality of that argument. Then the other argument is we're going to defend Israel no matter what, regardless of anything. If they need something, we're going to give it to them, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to disregard any ally except for them, if that makes any sense here. That's one camp, and the other camp is, we're America. My tax dollars should not be going to any other people but Americans. Guys, we're fragmenting. This is a fragment. So the right, without a doubt, needs to come to terms with the direction that they're going to move forward with, okay? One camp is going to win, period, right? Because it is what it is here. And if you start going off of the idea of more people, the left already really doesn't care what's going on over there, right? They already perceive anything Israel-oriented to be, terrible, right? That's the perception kind of coming from the left, right? So now, if the right is now starting to also do the same thing, let's just go ahead and say 75% of the country now is saying, we're done, we don't have any interest. All that needed to happen was a fragmentation in the right to basically split off more people that are now going to be siding with the left on this argument. So if you want to maintain what the right is, right, you're going to have to come to terms with this, right? Like this issue here, right? But guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think, though. I mean, I do definitely think that this is going to be terrible if this happens here. The fragmentation of the right is not like the smartest thing in the world, because the left is not fragmented like that, guys. They all think the same exact thing, right? Basically. And if you think differently, you're terrible, and they try to end your existence. Or they say you're not part of the left. If that makes any sense here. That's basically it here. They do not deal with people who think differently at all. Not at all, right? And now the new fragmented side of the right is now kind of siding with the left on that one specific issue. So where do we go here, guys? All right? Seriously, let me know in the comments what you guys think here, all right? But guys, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. And in the meantime, guys, I'll go ahead and catch you guys later.